verse number 23. Dehohamityayam mudhaha dhrutva tishtatyuho janaha mamayammityapi jñātva ghatadraṣṭeva sarvada brahmi vāham samah śāntah sachidananda lakshanah nāham deho hyasad rūpah jñānamityuchyate buddhaihi. Nirbikaro nirakarah niravadyoham avyayah nāham deho hyasad rūpah jñānamityuchyate buddhaihi. So we have seen already 25, if I'm right, or only up to 24 we had seen. 25 we have seen also. 25. Okay. However, so this, after discussing both this called Atma Anatma Viveka. Now it wants to talk, so what is Atma? As we saw in the last class, this is called as Jnanam by Buddhi, by wise people. Not me as body, mind complex, mainly body, that which is in the form of ever changing. But I am somebody who is nirvikaraha. That means without going through any change. Nirakaraha, also I don't have any form. Niravadyaha, so free from defects. So we brought this niravadyaha, tapatraya rahitaha iti. So that means that I am someone who is free from all sort of defects. So physically, body wise, we said that pitta adi, vata, pitta, kapha adi. Later on, mentally, kama, krodha, lobha, moha adi. So all these put together are called dosham, called defects. And of course, aham avyayah iti. So I am also vyaya rahitaha. I do not go through any change. There is no decay, there is no destruction at all. Continue. Niramayo nirabhasaha nirvikalpo hyamatataha nāham deho hyasad rūpah jñānamityuchyate buddhaihi. So this last line, nāham deha asad rūpah jnanam iti uchyate buddhaihi, is a repetition that we have seen before. There is nothing much to talk. So now first he says niramayah. So niramayah means not subject to any disease. So when you say not subject to any disease, sarva roga rahitah ityartha. So that I want to know, give these words. This is what, when you work on dictionary, this is how to be put it, okay? Niramayah. sarva roga rahitah iti. So that it becomes easier. That's why we have a called Nīrāmayā scheme in India government. So has brought this called Nīrāmayā scheme, okay, based on this. So I am someone who is free from all rogas, all disease. Because roga, the disease, belongs to the body, but not me. Then he says, Nirabhasah. This is a beautiful point to understand. So Nirabhasah means that it is not the object of any comprehension. So when you say it is not object of any comprehension, abhasa, very nicely says, brutti vyapityapi phala vyapakatva shunyam iti, called nirabhasa. So abhasa shunya. Problem here is because it is not available for any sort of apprehension, comprehension. Now there is a possibility, one may say it is shunyam, it is empty, it does not exist. That is how the Buddhism, that is how new philosophies nowadays present Neo-Vedantis. Because Shastra says it's very convenient. But now we forget, we'll give you two examples. One olden example, one modern example. Okay? So when you look at any group photo, so when you are looking at group photo, so suddenly you discover that family group photo, okay? So your family group photo you are looking at, and suddenly you discover that one person is missing. You are searching every nook and corner, where is that fellow? And remember your big family. Now, because the person is not visible, available on the photo, can you say that the person does not exist? Can you say person was not there during photograph time? Can you say this? If you say, that means you have a concluding mind. Because if he was not there, my question is, who took the photo? Hey, photographer is missing in the photos, okay? You understand? In fact, he went out or she went out to took the photo. So because photographer was taking photo, will that photographer be available in the photo? One logic example. Another example we give. In the dark room, in the night, in your room, so you are searching something with the help of what? A torch light. Now when you are searching everything, and what you are searching, just sometimes you are, this is the painful situation, you are searching for torch, holding the torch light. And after searching for hours together, you discover torch does not exist. How ridiculous is it? You are holding through your hand. In fact, because of torchlight, you are able to search anything and everything. And finally, you come to the conclusion that torch light does not exist. It is empty, it is shunyam. Nothing. How ridiculous is it? Because of presence, or because of whose presence, everything is available. But at the same time, that is not object of any thought. It's like the eyes sees everything. But the eyes can see the eye itself. It needs at least help of mirror. That means we cannot say because my eyes does not see or eyes do not see the eye, that means I do not exist. Can I say this? So that's why when Buddhism talks, that's why the Buddhism is a just empty philosophy. That's why we never accept Buddhism, we never allow them to talk, to discuss. But being a, very convenient because it started spreading with violence, and later on being non-committant religion now spreading in the West. There is no other option. However, coming to the point here, that this nirabhasa mean in whose presence thoughts arrive, in whose presence the thoughts are surviving, and also in whom thought resolves. That is me. And how can it be the object of thought? So that's why nirabhasaha, free from, or you can say it is not an object of any thought. Not beyond, okay, don't write beyond, okay, please. So this beyond has got I have my own problem with the beyond translation, okay. So you should be beyond. So okay, what is that beyond? No problem. Then comes nirvikalpaha. So that means vikalpa rahitaha ityarthaha. So now he says vikalpa means here kalpana hinaha. So free from any sort of kalpana, imagination. So some people write here, they have put it altercation. So there is no alternative ityartha they are writing here. But when we see, look at this point, because I am trying to see if any other person writes anything. So that means if we try to see that vikalpa rahitaha, that means it is something kalpana rahitaha, nirvikalpa, vikalpa rahitaha. That means that which is sarvagataha, that which is here all pervading. And the another one word he uses called atataha. So atataha is a very good name actually. It's a very trendy name, okay? Atataha. So atataha means vyapakaha ityarthaha. So aplu atataha. So I am someone is atataha means sarvagataha, sarva vyapakatam ityarthaha, means I am all pervasive. And he says, when I am this, na aham iti, na deha aham iti. Aham na deha iti. So I am not this body, that which is subject to change. And those who know, or this is being called as knowledge by the wise people. Continuing. Nirguna niskriyo nirguno niskriyo nityaha nityamukto hamachyutaha naham deho hyasad rupaha jñānamityuchyate buddhi. So the last line again is being repeated. So first he says nirgunaha. So nirgunaha means guna rahitaha. So that means we say beautifully So what is guna? So guna means attribute. It must be ajnana karyam. And being the product of ajnana, that is what is called guna. Now, here I am nirgunaha, free from any gunas, any attributes. And of course, because of that reason, I am niskriya. So, niskriya means kriya rahita. So, why I am kriya rahita? Means free from activities. This is what Swamiji I want, okay? Like ajagara, okay? So ajagara means python, okay? So have you ever observed python? Lies down in one place, doesn't move at all. Of course, once in a while, finds a person, come. In fact, because of the climate change and other things, so wrongly things are happening. Generally, python does not attack any, moving human being. Very difficult. And recently, they found a, dead body of a woman inside a python. It was big news because the lady was missing for 3 days. So they put complaint and everything. Police were searching. Then people started thinking, maybe let us look at the jungle, nearby jungle. Then they discovered something. Finally, they saw one python was lying down very happily, okay? And of course, they joined together and caught it. And finally, they saw the body inside with the dress and everything. So all these, people are shocked. How is it possible? So anyway, because of the climate change, okay, let us not get into. So this kriya rahita, okay. So laziness, okay. I am someone is complete, full of lazy, okay, does not move at all. What a good translation, huh? So those who are lazy, they can enjoy this statement, okay. Says, look, I am what? I am niskriya. Once in a while I do my kriya, minimum kriya. Not that way. Here niskriya means sarva vyapaka ityartha. You have to understand. If you observe why you do kriya, why you are engaged in the activities, the more you are insecure, the more you jump around. Correct or not? All your jumping around takes place what? Why? Because of insecurity. Because of limited thinking. That's why Swamiji, I don't think anything else. Please don't use this thing in a wrong way, okay? Because it can have different connotation altogether, okay? Don't do that. At least those who are thinking that's better, okay, than lazy or tamas, okay? Don't be a tamasic. At least be rajasic. Rajasic is being manageable. Tamasic is not manageable. But remember, rajasic is not good all the time. Because rajas can be predominant. But rajas must be supported by sattva guna, not by tamo guna. Imagine if rajas is supported by tamo guna, what will happen? So that is called devil thinking. That is called asura thinking. So all the asuras were very active or not? And they do the penance also, very strong penance. And in the penance, what they do? They cut their head, they cut their everything, eyes, whatnot. They offer to gain the power. So once they gain the power, now Rajas is predominant, but completely supported by Tamoguna, Tamas. And they become the cause of destruction of the society, and finally they destroy themselves. So here we say, let Rajaguna be there, nothing wrong in it. But Rajaguna must be supported by Sattva-guna. And when he says Niskriya, not full of tamas, but it is Vyapakatvam, all pervasive, like space, Akasavati ityartha. Because of all pervasiveness of Akasam, space does not move. There is no activities in space. Air moves. Fire, of course, much more. Water, tsunami. And Bhumi does not move. Of course, internally moves, plate moves. But for Bhumi means earth, okay? For earth, everybody moves, okay? So for small piece of land, how much we move, how much we fight, okay? You know better, okay? All police case, this case, that case, what other things happens just for a piece of land, okay? And of course, one day or other you will leave the place, okay? Don't worry, okay? You will be buried not there in some other place, okay? However, let us not get into too much. So he says, Aham niskriyaha iti. That's why Aham nitya. So Aham nitya here also very nicely says, I am nitya. Why? Because vinasha rahitaha iti. So free from all sort of destruction. And that's why he says beautifully, because of that reason, Aham nitya muktaha. Not that I am free once in a while, but I am nitya mukta, ever free. And of course, aham achyutaha. So aham achyutaha. So achyuta means that chyuti is not there, falling is not there, that which is not perishable, imperishable ityartha. Means I am Sachidananda Swarupa ityartha. Aham Sachidananda Swarupa. Continuing. Nirmalo Nischalo Nantaha Suddho Hamajaro Amaraha Naham Deho Hyasat Rupaha jñānamayīṃ buddhi. So goes again further, same thing. Aham nirmalaha ityartha. So nirmalaha means free from all impurities. So what is impurity? The malam comes because from avidya. So avidya karya is called malam. So the product of avidya, ignorance, is called malam, impurity. So when he says that I am nirmalaha, free from impurities, means I am not the product of avidya. And secondly says, aham nischalaha iti. So that means again same thing brings niskriyaha, nischalaha, both same. So no chalanam. So I don't move because of vyapakatvam, because of all pervasiveness. And not only that, he says, look, anantaha ityartha, he gives this thing. no anta, so there is no end. So because I am anantaha, not limited, that means in space wise, in time wise, desha kala, because generally something can be limited with reference to space, also it can be limited with reference to time. Here I am anantaha, I am not limited by space nor limited by time. That's why aham shuddhaha iti. And because of that reason, I am shuddhaha. So shuddhaha means I am pure. Asuddhi rahitaha. Again, aham ajaraha iti. So ajaraha means jara rahita. Generally, ajara and amara both go together. We take it always together. So ajara amara means jara marana rahitaha iti. So free from geriatric problem. That is big problem, okay? Because once you reach, especially 60, after 60 no problem, okay? After 60, how to get up? Is a big question, okay? Whether to get up or not. So always I say, na, kada kada mada mada dhad dhad, okay? So all your body does only kada mada dhad mada gada mada, okay? Not here in India, there is one thing called, oh, not coming. Now India, like, tak 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 tak, all this. So during political rally, so one group started saying, you know, every month some 8,500 rupees will be transferred to the account. What? Takatak tak takatak. Then somebody said gatagat. Some 3-4 statement came. Okay. So now big mess in India. Now here I am not talking that point. I am talking that all the body makes noise. This is called jara, geriatric problem. But I am someone who is free from all sort of geriatric problem. And also amara. Of course, I am not subject to die, not subject to death. That means mrityu rahitaha ityarthaha. That means I am immortal. And definitely, na aham deha iti. I am not this body. Thus is called jnanam, is knowledge by the wise people. So why? Let me summarize. Then we'll get into next. Why this is being taught? If we observe that this aham brahmasmi jnanam, the vritti called aham brahmasmi. Vritti means the thought, the teaching that you take up. Aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Technically we call as prajna. So this vritti is not enough for me to be liberated. Because if I have to be liberated, the mind has to be free from two types of obstacles. So one we call saṃśayaḥ, other one is called viparita bhavana. So making yourself free from saṃśayaḥ. Saṃśayaḥ means doubt. So what is doubt? Intellectual doubts. Because or else anybody and everybody can be free person. Because you have heard Am Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. But when mind is not free from these two obstacles, The first one is saṃśayaḥ, intellectual obstacle. Definitely I will not be enjoy because mind will be preoccupied. That's why we say very carefully, two things are required for this. That one is called quality time, other one is called not preoccupied mind. Free mind. Now when I start doing mananam after shravanam or along with shravanam, I do mananam. So mananam means what? Giving importance to the logic of the teaching than logic of my experience or my thinking. So the logic or the teaching takes over me. So in the process, intellectually, I am not confused, nor I have any intellectual problem. And that's what we say, saṃśayaḥ, doubts related to intellect must not be there. Because always you know everything. So you think all others are fool, Shastra does not know anything, teacher does not know anything. I know the better. So that does not work. That person will not enjoy. In fact, that person will be more confused. And second thing is called viparita bhavana. So when you say viparita bhavana means second type of obstacle is called mind always projects based on habitual thinking, habitual error. Because I have been carrying forward this habitual thinking, habitual error from many lives, from my childhood to in this life. Now that is not going to go away so quickly, so easily. So for that is called nididhyasanam. So this nididhyasanam takes care of what? Takes care of this viparita bhavana. So that's why these verses were being repeated. This aham brahmasmi vritti, that was being repeated. Sravanam was being done again and again differently to make sure that this prajna is entering in your mind. So once this prajna, this vritti enters, it creates its own space. Then along with that mananam has to continue. Means giving some time, priority time. And once I give priority time for prajna to continue in my mind, then because of that reason, slowly I'll discover not only I'll reserve, I would rather say instead of reserving, I will not strengthen my intellect. I will not fuel my so-called thinking, convenient thinking, rather so-called thinking, convenient thinking. Then because of which, now slowly nitidhyasanam also happens. So how the nitidhyasanam happens? Because whatever I have this habitual error, habitual pattern of thinking, doing, functioning, that also will get dropped. How? Till this example I can give. In our childhood we have seen, nowadays it is not available. So they used to know, a cyclist comes. So in one cycle, that fellow will be, say that for days together, he does not, will not touch the ground. So one cycle, that fellow will eat, will do everything without touching the ground. Very nice, because I have seen many occasions the way, how he puts down the cycle, balancing, and again lifts the cycle without touching the ground, without touching anything, okay? No support, nothing. So amazing, and very slow speed and all these things. Oh, really amazing to observe. And this is what the art, and through that collect some money, people give, it's nice. If you observe this concept, when the person, let us say, is a cyclist gymnastic. While doing this thing, where the person's focus? Always focus will be in the beginning stages on the center of gravity. Just observe this point very logically. Because if there is no focus on center of gravity, will the person be able to make the cycle, fall down slowly? Impossible. If the person lose sight of center of gravity, cycle will boom, boom, you understand? So also life. So when I lose sight of myself, boom, boom. Whereas when I am aware of my center, myself, life continues. We will continue.